bam, that's where you'll find us. You can also check us out on your smart speakers. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. I'm Jason Fitz, sitting with Harry Douglas. A little sneak peek to Fitz and Harry that starts January 3rd, ESPN Radio from noon to 3 p.m. Eastern. We hope you will hang out with us there. Monday, everybody's going to have all eyes on the matchup between the Bengals and the Bills, Harry. And it really becomes this moment because Joe Burrow has the opportunity, as well as he's playing, and as much as we love Burrow, Joe Burrow has that Heisman opportunity Monday night. We talk about Heisman moments for quarterbacks. Yep. Sometimes you need that memorable, oh my God, remarkable game against a huge opponent. It feels like this one is setting up to give Burrow that opportunity to have a true MVP moment that could change the way voters see him this year.
Yeah, you look at the race right now. I would say you look 2 weeks ago, and it was between Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, right? Jalen Hurts is now hurt. Now, I don't think Hurts can actually win the award not playing the rest of the season, just because you do have a Patrick Mahomes who's still doing what he's doing, making magical plays, pulling out his magical wand, and just making things do what it do. Things that we expect on a regular basis, and the norm has become the norm from Patrick Mahomes that not many people in the National Football League from the quarterback position can be able to do. But then you look at a guy in Josh Allen, and Josh Allen means everything to the Buffalo Bills. But statistically, from a passing standpoint, he hasn't been on point since, I'll say, week 6 or week 7 of the season. Now, he's everything to the Bills offense, but some things hasn't just been there, and then, the turnovers have risen. You look at him versus zone coverage versus man coverage. He's better versus man than he is in zone. That's when a lot of mistakes happen, when he has to methodically work the football down the field. You look at Joe Burrow. In the last 10 games, his team is 9-1. He's second in passing right now at the moment. And not only that, 34 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. And when you talk about Patrick Mahomes, because I think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the National Football League right now at this moment, because of, you look at his past history and things he's been able to do, win a Super Bowl, win an MVP, throw 50 touchdowns in a season. But what Joe Burrows is doing at this moment right now, starting the season 0-2, being sacked 13 times in 2 games, a lot of people writing them off, saying they have a Super Bowl hangover, right? He's been able to rally the troops, missing Jamar Chase and, Joe Mixon for a portion of the season, but still being able to, hold the ship afloat. This game on Monday night versus the Buffalo Bills, who are the number 1 seed right now in the AFC, is huge and can have huge implications on an MVP race if he goes out there and throws for 300+ and 3 or 4 touchdowns and beat the Bills. But if they mess around to beat them in convincing fashion, then that's more of a bigger statement. And it's a reason why I got these 2 grapefruits sitting on my desk.
Yeah. I mean, if you're watching this, if you're watching it right now, there's 2 things you should note. One, whoever made our graphic that says "Big Bad Burrow balling brilliantly," that is beautifully done. Also, HD, you brought grapefruits today?
I went to the market yesterday because I said, you know what? There's a possibility that we may be talking about Joe Burrow again today on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. There's a possibility we might be talking about Joe Burrow when I'm done with KJM. On First Take, I just wanted to make sure I had my damn props because that's the way he's walking around, with 2 damn grapefruits. I said it once, I say it again. Joe Burrow does not care who you line up across that field from him. He don't care if it's Tom Brady. He don't care if it's Patrick Mahomes. He don't care if it's Josh Allen. He don't care if it's Lamar Jackson. He don't care if it's Justin Herbert. Damn it, he don't care. He don't care.
There are so many things to break down here, not the least of which is what you all didn't see is that HD, he had a little wipe so he could shine down, like he could polish his grapefruits before he put them on set. Yeah. I'm just saying, the care that went into that. The thing about Joe Burrow is I'm not sure how you beat him, right? Like, when you talk about he doesn't care who's facing him, he also doesn't care who's hitting him. They had a graphic up on the screen a little while ago, and I want the radio audience to know this. 55% completion percentage when facing pressure. That's second in the NFL. So if the book on Mahomes is you're going to try and force him to be patient, see what he can do. If the book on Allen is you're going to try and take away his ability to do multiple things, right? What is the book on how you beat Joe Burrow? Because right now, if the thought is I'm just going to knock the snot out of him, the more you hit him, the more he gets up and still takes it. He's second in completion percentage, second in yards per attempt when he's facing pressure. So even when his offensive line fails him, he still goes out and outperforms. Like, there is just a gutsiness to everything that Joe Burrow does right now. And you combine that with the fact that he has incredible weapons around him. This feels like it is just shaping up for the Bengals, not only to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl to me, but for Joe Burrow really to plant his flag and say, guess what? I don't care what Mahomes has done in the past. I don't care what Josh Allen has done in the past. Right now, today, I am the best quarterback in the NFL. And it's not shocking if you watch that year at LSU. The craziest part about that is through injury, through hits, through chaos, through action at his feet, through everything that we keep talking about that is supposed to derail a quarterback, none of it has derailed Joe Burrow. That is the most incredible thing we're seeing out of an incredible quarterback right now in the NFL.
Well, you look at them in the game versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that they had to go down in Tampa. You know, the elements are different down there in Florida than they are in Cincinnati. It's way colder and it's way warmer, and the humidity is different down in Florida, and they go down 17-0. But does Joe Burrow panic? Not at all. Not one bit. I was at that playoff game last year against the Tennessee Titans in Nashville when he was getting sacked 9 times, and I sat there over and over again and watched that young man's body language, because body language is everything to me. Body language can tell you a lot about a player, a lot about a people, especially when things aren't going right. And his mindset, his demeanor never changed. It's like he'll get sacked and, okay, it's fine.
But think about this, because you mentioned the Titans game. That came on the heels of a game I obviously watched because everybody knows my bias. The Raiders the week before knocked the snot out of them. They didn't get a ton of sacks, but they had a ton of quarterback hits, ton of quarterback pressures. A week later, the Titans are dragging him to the ground. Never once was there a moment where I felt like he was looking at his offensive line saying, can you guys just stop letting me get murdered? He never did that. Like that level of just come back and be like, all right, we'll get him next play. Like, I can't imagine that. It speaks to how differently he's wired, and that whole like cigar smoking, swaggy sort of thing is just a part of who he. It's ingrained in who he is.
It's the it factor, right? And
it's grapefruits.
When you're damn right about that. Walking around with the grapefruits. You got to have that it factor. Walk around the grapefruits, baby. But it's like, you know, a GM, an owner, when they're looking to draft guys, and especially difference makers, guys that can set their franchise apart from other franchises. And then for the Cincinnati Bengals, that's exactly what they did, because they were losing, right? They decided to pick Joe Burrow with the number 1 overall pick. And that it factor that he has allowed ownership and the GM and Zach Taylor, the head coach, to separate their franchise from a lot of other ones, because of the one person that they picked the quarterback position. Now, don't get me wrong. The defense is phenomenal for the Cincinnati Bengals. You have a Jamar Chase, in which they have that relationship that they had in college. You have a T. Higgins, a Tyler Boyd. You have the running backs. You have the offensive line. Now those guys are starting to gel and come together. But at the end of the day, if you don't have that one chess piece, right? In chess, I don't play chess, but I hear people talk about it all the time. Well, you're trying to get the queen, right?
I think it's something like that. Yeah. Well, I mean, checkmate is how you beat the king. You get the king.
What'd you say, Shannon? What is it?
I'm terrible at chess.
You try to get the king.
Right.
You try to get the king. Listen, Joe Burrow's taking everybody's king. He is.
You're right.
He's taking everybody's king on the chessboard.
And he's doing it with the grapefruits. I got in so much trouble as a kid because my mom was happy that I was eating grapefruit a lot. Like, I didn't have a lot of sugar growing up. Remarkable to who I am now.
Sugar on top of them things.
I used to put so I was eating these grapefruits, and my mom was like, oh, and then she came in one day and saw me just like putting like a half a package of sugar on top of that. She beat my butt. All right, he's Harry Douglas. I'm Jason Fitz. You're listening to Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max as we break down all the action going on across the sports landscape. We thought, you know what? It'd be time to make a list. Now, hear me out, Harry. Are you ready